Okay, we'll call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Nicholas County Commission to order. Today is September 20th, 2023. It's not here. We have anyone here for the public comment period. Oh, you're for the public comment.
I can be.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were with the estate. Okay.
I'm just with the federal government.
Okay.
My name is Nancy Gall. I'm with the USDA Royal Development Royal Partners Network. And I'm just here to see if you guys have any projects in Nicholas County as a county that you want to try to move forward. I've of course been to Summersville and Richwood and other cities in your county, but just as a county-wide basis.
Okay.
I'm just here for your help. Thank you.
USDA, the loan part division of USDA, is that what?
I do not. The Royal Partners Network is a conglomeration really of the Biden-Harris administration, and we took the lead on it. The Royal Partners Network has no money affiliated with our program, but we partner with 29 agencies now, federal agencies, and they each have a Royal Desk officer assigned to us, so that if you would have any questions, like you're trying to get a Department of Transportation loan, for instance, but you can't get answers. I don't know if you've ever tried to call a federal agency for answers. Sometimes it's very difficult. You could call me and I could get you an answer. It's that type of thing. Or hook you up with any resources or find grants for your funding for any of your needs.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Broadband included in that?
Broadband is included, yes.
For workforce development, health and wellness, what else are we working on?
And economic development.
Economic development, yep.
Those are our priority areas for our network.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments on that?
Just for the general public, so that she spoke about the, I always get these backwards, Rural Partners Network, which are the underserved areas of the United States, and then locally we have an 8-county initiative called the Pioneer Resource Network, and that's a couple of projects we're looking to bound up several county initiatives and make them one larger proposal that we're actually proposing to the federal government and agencies like FEMA, USDA for funding issues, or funding, not issues, but for funding. So, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That being said, if you all would like to begin the motions there.
Review and waive the reading of the September 6th minutes.
Okay, that motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? The only correction I might request is on page 2 concerning the personal matters of the Sheriff's Department, that it lists Commissioner Cole granted the request at 9:56 a.m. and requested that, and lists the 3 commissioners. It just says Commissioner, Clerk Painter, Sheriff. But just that one line be corrected. Yeah, just to clarify that all 3 commissioners were present for that. That's my only correction I have to request. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of exonerations as presented by the Nicholas County Assessor, move to approve accordingly.
That motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of estate and fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, move to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
That motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon submission of budget revisions received from elected officials and department heads, the commission will take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
Okay, that motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of the invoices as submitted by the various departmental heads, the commission will take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
That motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those against, the motion does carry. Now we are at the time for the estate of Lee Allen Horrocks, file number 10375. And this is concerning the appointment of a new administrator for that estate. If you don't care, just raise, you're the only one coming today.
I believe so.
Okay, if you don't mind, just raise your right hand real quick. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that in the matter now in hearing, your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, on June 19th, we had a hearing here to remove the current executrix of the estate of Lee Horrocks, who was Leanne Horrocks, and it was turned over to the Nicholas County Sheriff due to some possible mishandling of funds. At this time, Mr. Matthew Horrocks would like to be appointed as the executor over the estate. He is named as the second in the will, and the sheriff has no issue.
And of course, you all have already been through the discussions of bonding and things of that matter that would be required by the clerk's office.
Yes.
Okay, and you understand all of that and
Yes.
don't have any further questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You got your financial matters, the bank accounts and stuff straightened up? I know you had some issues with the access and,
The joint account has been closed, but other than the estate accounts, I currently don't have access to any of that. I do have a question. Was the sheriff able to look into anything prior to July?
Honestly, I don't even know in that case if they look back or just move forward or what, truly.
It appears.
you talk about the questionable transactions that you presented?
Yes. And also, after that hearing, the access to write checks from the estate account was removed from Leanna, right? Okay.
It should have been.
Should have been, yes. Everything should have been transferred strictly to the sheriff's department.
It looks like this goes back to May,
Okay.
what the sheriff gave us.
Okay. Yeah, it's the document I provided there.
Oh, this is yours,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, there was a couple of withdrawals that had been questioned, right, in North Carolina, I think, from an ATM or something.
This was handwritten checks.
Okay.
Yes.
I was trying to remember.
And I have no concerns, and I would recommend the appointment of Matthew Works to be the administrator of the estate as requested.
So moved.
Motion's on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. So, thank you very much, and good luck in your work.
Thank you all so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. That being said, our next appointment is actually canceled, and so we will recess until the 9:30 appointment. Okay, we have now at the request of Commissioner Chapman, discussion concerning the stave mill in Calvin.
The stave mill in Calvin, which is, they will actually build the parts to make the whiskey barrels in White Sulphur Springs. There's 5 of these mills planned to make the parts for that operation. Everything they've got's already sold, and once they start, they've already started accumulating wood for this. They plan to be in production by the 1st of November. It may be delayed a little bit, but the equipment and things like that is being installed now. We have been in talks with them over a fire suppression system. We've got it narrowed down to they need about $250,000. The city of Summersville has agreed to $50,000. I would like to propose that we put up $200,000 in the form of a loan to them, and I'm working on where to take the funds from. Maybe from our building commission, which has a surplus of about $250,000. But in the form of a loan over a 10-year period with a credit yearly as long as they're living up to their potential. So that's mine. And they need this soon. This will create approximately 70 jobs be a two-shift operation. The company itself has invested a little over $6 million at this point in this operation.
Did they come out with a final? I know in the initial, he had talked about the jobs were, and I know we're in the weeds here with semantics, but it's able to quantify the money going out the door. Did they finalize what their starting pay would be? Because I believe they see
I
just at
think
20.
it was in the 40-plus range.
That's what I thought. So the jobs would start out at 40,000 a year.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at 80 jobs, you're looking at about, what's that, $3.2 million in annual salary coming into the county.
And then plus there'll be tax revenue coming off that property that's not there now.
Right.
You know, basically it's vacant property at a minimum property tax. The $6 million worth of equipment will be assessed, you know, on top of that. So the tax revenue will be considerably high.
Gotcha. And I had been contacted by one of the local managers to help with a hiring fair. So we're definitely going to try to keep those jobs as local as we can, but fill as many local folks as we can. And then the second, third questions I had follow-up is, once that's put in, if anybody else comes in, can they tie into that? Or would they want to be able to serve one business, or can it serve multiple, or can it be scaled? So I know it's a fairly good size holding pond of water.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so
that could be,
right.
but the NRG RDA is working on
That's the big
a
thing.
plan right now to actually put up a big water tank. This will be a direct flow, what we're funding, direct flow into their fire suppression system right away. NRG RDA is working on funding a water tank at a higher point to help fund the rest, and then this water will be pumped into the tank
Gotcha.
as well to fill it, and they'll build it big enough. There's quite a bit of property up there still to develop.
Right.
This operation here is probably going to take up, from the looks of things, about 30 acres. That's just a guess. They got a pretty good sized log yard, and they will be not only taking in wood products, logs for what they use, but they'll also have a resale program of some going back out. So,
And would that be things they couldn't use? Is that what they do?
yeah, they can only use white oak,
Uh-huh.
but let's just say a truck comes in that has a half load of white oak, but the other half is red oak, hard maple. They'll also buy those and resell them, so the logging companies don't have to make 2 or 3 stops.
Have you got any feedback yet from the building commission?
Actually, I told them that we were going to have a meeting and talk about it, what we were planning on doing. And like I said, that can come from there, or can also come out of our economic development fund, which is about $500 million.
And are we looking at it, do they have, I don't know if you had addressed or not, I was trying to think of numbers in my head from my own questions. Are they looking at longevity with a loan? Would there be a long-term agreement or?
We're looking at least a 10-year agreement. As long as they live up to their things, they would get a credit on the loan every year.
Okay. So we're looking at $250 per person per job. That would be our investment over a 10-year period.
And we'll get a lot of that back
Yeah.
in property taxes.
And that's what I'm.
We'll
looking
actually
at.
probably get all of that back, more in property taxes.
So it'd be $2,500 per job we'd be creating, or over a 10-year period, it'd be $250. That's why I try to break it down and, quantify it.
Yeah.
Like, what is our investment into 80 jobs? $2,500 overall.
Well, and that's the
$250 a
actual
year.
jobs that's creating. But
Right.
that's also not creating the forest jobs, the loggers, that you're gonna have. to-
Whoever cleans the office, the ancillary outside services, that type of thing.
And the fuel. There'll be a lot of fuel.
Right.
Would they consider a 15 or 20 year?
I think they would.
At least maybe a 15?
Understood. I mean, the longer we can have something there, that's job security.
Just to spread that out.
And all we're asking for
more,
is a
try and get
guarantee,
little
hopefully
bit-
it's inevitable.
Right,
You know,
right, but,
yeah, spread that out. That
my
might-
concern might be
cost.
if, 10 years from now, they feel like they have logged out the white oak of the area, they can just walk 15, with the requirements of the employment and stuff like that, that can stretch it out a little bit more, and hopefully they might do a little bit more trucking and stuff, but they'll be enticed to,
Plus the cost.
or pay us back. I mean, they can always pay us back.
You know, it's just like Columbia up there. They'll take a wider radius,
Right.
you know, so they'll probably,
Right.
like if you take something into Columbia and you're out of their band, well, there's $50 added to the trucking. So it's cheaper for them to do that
Build plants and stuff like
than
that.
build plants.
Yeah, and see, they even went a 30, and I'm not gonna say that here, but I mean, there was a 30-year agreement on Columbia. And that's actually expired, so that's kind of a concern for me going forward. Not local leadership, just as a corporation decision, so if that 10 could become 15, I think that would be good. And I would definitely prefer the building commission route at all costs, so if we could get a meeting with them, that would be great. That would be my only 2 questions.
And I'd like to say for the benefit of everybody, but for the benefit of me, because I don't remember, why was that important that they bring those other logs in and sell it? How does that, I know it cuts the cost.
Well, it's like,
So if you're out in a spread and you're
I
bringing other
guess
things in.
as much as I would say it's a convenience to the people that are selling the logs, so they don't have to have a wreck of white oak over here and a wreck of red oak. They can actually combine the two and take them to one place.
Okay.
If not, they're gonna have to run a truck to say which one, and it's probably, it's to help them, the convenience to get the loggers to bring them their product. And their
Gotcha.
product is
Yeah.
only white oak.
Gotcha. So then like, Laurel Creek or somebody would come there and get those other logs, or?
Or that, or they could sell them like that, or a log yard could come in and buy them. I'm sure they'll put up a sale, and they'll come in and bid them and do it like that. Then they'll arrange the trucking at that point. Who
Could be
gets
sold
the-
overseas, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, they
Okay,
could
okay.
also fill containers. or-
Yeah.
That's my thing, is just, quantifying for folks, like, there's a lot of thought went into this, a lot of research, and just the understanding of the true impact of just, a little bit of money.
And I think they're putting a lot of emphasis on talking with their customer that's gonna bring stuff to them, what would make it work better for you.
Gotcha.
And I just learned this probably 2 weeks ago, that they're actually gonna take other products.
Right.
So,
How do you get downstairs?
Straight down the hallway, first right.
set of steps.
Community service.
Catch all commission, right?
Thank you, Commissioner Roberts.
Should have took the camera around.
Yeah.
That way. So we would actually make a motion and have an approval today, and then there would be work done with the building commission and some sort of contract or agreement drawn up that they would sign. They being Appalachian State Mill.
We're gonna put up our money, then the city has agreed to put up their money.
Understood.
We can't really make ours contingent on that.
Right.
But we can stop at a level and say this is all. Now, this is not the entire amount they need for this, but they're putting the other 100 and some thousand in out of their pocket too. So they got a lot of skin in this game.
And their concern is at one of their other locations, they had fire.
Yes, and they will not open a new mill without fire suppression.
What it's,
And this is what it wasn't in the original plan, because they didn't put fire suppression in at that time.
gotcha.
So,
I understand. I mean, if you can cut costs, cut them, but once you learn your lesson,
yeah.
definitely want to correct that moving forward.
Now, you mentioned that $6 million investment.
It's an entire new mill.
Right. Now, especially Gary, to clarify, when we were at Manchin's announcements, wasn't that one of the projects they mentioned first? That's a loan they have with People's Bank. You remember the People's Bank went over and got a picture of the mansion? So, I mean, that's, $6 million. I mean, they got a good loan probably, but I mean, they're paying it. I mean, it's not like a grant. It was a loan.
Right, true loan.
Okay.
And then.
Because for some reason, it kept coming to me that it was a grant, but it is a
I think
$6
Ryan
million
had presented
loan.
that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I think there is some grant money tied up in it as well.
And in White Sulphur, their investment over there was something like $30 million.
well,
And he said they had 80 or 90,000 barrels sold already, basically, like forecasted to be sold or projected.
Yeah.
What do they still have, do they have a target date yet of opening?
The state mill,
Mm-hmm.
they'd like to
Said
be
something
open in
November.
November.
That's what I thought. I didn't know if they had slid or not. So it would be scaled if they, like, just for ease of numbers, if we did a 10-year agreement, if they only lasted 5 years, they pay half back. If they lasted 7.5 years, they pay 25% back. If they scale all the way up, then 10 years to be forgivable. And that's why I look at it, it's an investment in jobs. And I think there's the potential to add a drying kiln and another 10 jobs with that, they said, later on, phase
Yeah,
3.
They could expand their project.
Which is another almost $500,000 in salary.
And the good thing is
Annually.
everything's in West Virginia. Their customers bringing it in, their customer they're selling to, it's all right here in West Virginia.
And he was saying, which just miscellaneous information, that most of the folks that make those whiskey barrels will only sell to larger corporations, large-scale purchases, and that they reserve 10 or 15% of their inventory for small, like microbreweries, mom-and-pop type shops, that only want to buy 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 of them. So I thought that was pretty good as well, like local in the state of West Virginia. So they're trying to help small business as well, come up, keep their costs down. I thought that was interesting.
Perhaps a path forward on this would be, we could decide to do that 200 contingent on agreement with the building commission. I'd like to ask for 15 years, and then if they don't do it, come back and discuss if we want to go out of co-reallocated or not.
I think we're at one through the building commission regardless, even if we got a couple things in there.
Okay.
I think that cleans it up a little bit better.
Okay. Well, that might even just be a meeting to be had, then come back and make a decision almost even. Surely we can meet with them before the next meeting, which I guess in October, so I know that's probably not favorable by Steve Mill.
Well, I think to help them, he really needs an answer to get moving forward. So I think we ought to make a decision to agree and then we'll need to work out the details of time.
You have any major problems with that?
Just once we're done, I think we'll come back and present that out, so, what our terms are and all that, just for full transparency.
Okay. Is that a motion? Okay. You need to clarify, or do you understand? Okay, yeah, if you don't mind, clarify the motion.
I make a motion, we fund this in the matter of a forgivable type loan up to $200,000 and work through the building commission to make it happen.
No, we're doing minimum 10 years, right? We're asking for more, is that how you're, minimum
What is it?
10, but optimally more, 15?
Well, I guess that would be part of the details that we worked out.
Right.
I mean, I can make it in the motion, up to a 15-year.
Up to 15, no less than 10 maybe.
We're citizens.
Yeah. Hey, opportunity.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those against? And I'm going to actually abstain, but I will not object to moving forward. So the motion does carry. And if we could call a meeting with the building commission in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, because they
Move
want
that
a
forward.
little bit of clarification on the point house too, so they've got a few items they'd like to talk to as well.
Okay. That being said, I'd like to revisit that, but we're a little bit behind schedule, so I would like to move to Region 4 Planning and Development Council. We do have Jamie Baker with us here this morning. And first off, we have the City of Richwood Hinkle Mountain Little Laurel Water Extension Project, resolution number 18.
Good morning. We have the City of Richwood, Hinkle Mountain Little Laurel Water Extension, resolution number 18. We're just requesting the utilization of the Nicholas County Commission's ARPA funds to pay Minji Group in the amount of $16,000 $314.07. And this is work that's completed on contract 1 for Little Laurel. The resolution will be finalized by the City of Richwood council meeting on Thursday.
You said 16,314.07?
Yes,
Okay. And that's money that's already been set aside, right?
Yeah, that comes out of our funds.
yes.
So I make a motion that we.
Now, let me ask you, well, okay, go ahead, sorry, go ahead, no, go ahead. Then we'll have discussion.
All right. Make a motion that we fund the $16,314.07.
Okay, that motion's on the floor.
Yep.
Now is there any discussion? On this project, I mean, I see like the EEG and different things. We've been on this project for so long, I just, has the city of Richwood contributed anything with this?
Let me double check. I am not 100% sure. I don't.
And that's something I can follow up with.
You might need to
because I
follow up
know-
with
I
Cassie
know-
on that because I don't normally work on this project.
Yeah, that's fine.
That might be something to follow up with her. Because I really don't know the answer to that off the top of my head, so without digging.
Okay, I mean, I have no problem with the request here this morning, I was just trying to see, because I see all the funding. And I could only see the commission as the only local one.
I don't believe that there's funding from the city on this project, just because it's not listed on the resolution.
Understood. Okay. Any further discussion?
And I would say it was, as long as it took, I'm sure the city has put money in back when they had some.
Well, and that might be
You
where
know
I'm
what I'm saying?
confused. Yeah, and that's not, I should clarify, that's not any sort of a criticism. I was just curious because I thought they had some money in this, but it may have been previously spent to get us here, so.
And this project has taken
34 years. I'm sure they
But-
spent some money, so
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
There is some good news though. It looks like contract 1 is, for the Little Laurel water line is 85% complete. Contract 2 for the Hinkle Mountain water line is 80% complete. Contract 3 for the Hinkle Mountain water storage tank is 60% complete. And contract 4 with the water treatment plant is 60% complete as well. It looks like the residents of Little Laurel could have water service as early as November, and Hinkle Mountain residents could have water service in December.
Awesome. That's what I was just gonna ask.
So it is moving along, so
Yeah.
it looks like it's finally going to.
Now, that's
make some major
contingent on
progress.
the tank, really, everything's contingent on the tank.
It looks like the water treatment plant is currently anticipated to be completed in December as well, so. The tanks usually come up pretty quickly.
They had a delay though because of weather, right? They didn't get started until late. They're waiting on the ground to.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's like April or so they're speaking on it.
How big is that tank? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Let's make up a number. 65,000.
The reason is,
Right.
on the other one, the tank you were talking about at Calvin, you know, that tank itself is gonna be like 250 grand, you know, so that's why it was 65,000.
Yeah, just say it real confident. 65,000 gallons.
65,000.
Yeah.
But not a big factor.
Great.
And they did have the engineering done on the pond up there, and they needed 60,000 gallons, and it turned out to be like 135,000.
Yeah, more than double what they need.
Because they went in there and cleaned it out right after we were
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
there.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry, and again, that was on the resolution number 18. Now we're at the Hinkle Mountain broadband expansion. This is an update of the environmental report, request for release of funds, and a notice of intent to bid.
So we originally had, since we've been working on this project for a while as well, these documents were originally signed by Dr. Atkins, and we just need to have these updated to have Commissioner Pohl's signature on these. We will be putting the notice to bid out and, their notice to intent to bid, as well as the request to release funds. That those will be put out as a 30-day comment period as well, and as well as the environmental clearance will be put out for comments. Looks like this month we received the approved scope change and understanding of the O&M agreement that will be ready for the Commission's first meeting in October. We'll be waiting final approval from the Development Office on the environmental report, and once it is approved, the environmental will be required a public comment period, which I just mentioned. After which the project will be in position to request authorization to bid, and we are really excited to get this progressing closer and actually coming to fruition.
And then when all this is over and built, this was grant money, I guess, that did this,
Yes.
but we will retain ownership of this project. And we want to tie ourselves in a fee, a monthly fee. When do we discuss all that, pre-bid or post-bid?
I would probably pre-bid. Be nice, understanding that that would be discussed then, and then, of course, that post-bid that will also be.
And when we bid, we're going to bid with companies like CityNet, things like, not the contractors building it. It'll be up to them.
And the service providers.
The service providers
So
themselves.
they need to build into their budget.
The service providers take care of the maintenance.
Well, I think it all comes down to your agreement.
I was going to say how we.
So I think,
structure the agreement with them.
once you get your ISP, I think that might be when we would discuss that in the maintenance and/or charges for us there.
Let's move with
Is
the
Yes,
Okay.
you're correct.
Vice President of Operations for Frontier for the state of West Virginia, and she said that you're about 25% in on your bill. So most of your costs come, they said about 75% of your costs come from once you launch the maintenance aspect. It's a jump.
Really?
Yeah. So we definitely want to address that.
Yeah, because we want it to be like a triple net lease.
Yes.
Because really, we'd be leasing it too. Once they build it, we're going to lease it to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 miles and 80 customers, that's awesome.
And a lot of it's hanging in the poles.
Well, yeah, 3,370 feet, 3,370 feet of buried fiber
Get through national forest.
because it goes to the national forest. And see, that's one thing, a lot of people question this project from the beginning, but this project is the first of its kind in state of West Virginia, state history. And because of the location, it just had so many underserved, and it was so close to the national forest and everything else. This is the only place that qualified. In fact, I think they had to go back and lessen the requirements to actually get other locations to get this. This is an exciting thing, and this is an example for the rest of the state here. And so we need to be excited about this project, I think, as a county.
And part of the holdup too is the tide, the backhaul.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who's will be doing the motion?
Doing what?
Who will be doing the motions in this? Yes. First, that you mentioned.
Yeah, these are
second
emails
that
to
you
us, that's
mentioned,
right.
and the third that you mentioned. There's the titles.
Do we need to select a date for the bid opening?
No.
No, Cassie
need
will,
it.
Cassie will take care of that.
Okay. Okay.
And the sign up on the documents.
Yes.
I think one of the things that's, like you talk about the level of excitement, you have certain areas that are underserved medically in our county. And I look at telehealth as one aspect of what's going on, with an aging population, and then kids being able to, the youth being able to gain access to the internet, just to do research and things for
You got the
schools.
same.
Yeah, I've got some originals.
Oh, okay.
So, the environmental report, we don't really need to do any motions with it today, or do we?
I don't believe it needs a motion, just needs your signature, unless you need a motion to sign it.
So let me recommend a motion to prevent myself to sign sign the environmental assessment determinations and compliance finding report, which we have here on the desk. Allow me to sign the,
All three of those documents.
the request of release of funds and certification. And also the notice of intent to bid, which Cassie will update us when she selects that date.
So moved.
That motion's on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. She actually brought an extra
Originals. There you go.
Okay. Thank you for coming
Thank you
in.
very much.
Appreciate all your hard work on these projects.
No problem. Thank you all.
Thank you. That being said, we're down to commissioners' comments.
That's my favorite part.
Oh, boy.
I'll tell you what, 'cause that means that's wind up time, wind down time. We're out of here.
The chair calls on the commissioner from the Cherry District to go first.
Hey, just want to let you guys know we've got a lot of exciting things going on in the county. We're working to bring business into the county. We're working to bring a lot of grant money into the county. I mean, a lot, a ton. And you know, every dollar we bring in from grants and outside assistance is one less taxpayer dollar we got to spend. It stretches it up, makes it go further.
Absolutely.
So we got a good team sitting behind this desk. That's it. Just want to toot my horn for a second. And y'all's toot both y'all's horn.
Let me pull this up really quick.
Seems the Golly
Put
District.
one of your videos.
Yeah. Seems the Golly Magisterial District Commissioner is unprepared.
No, I want to get a date right. I want to get a date right, okay? Commissioner Chapman, do you have anything?
I want to give a little pat on the back to Commissioner Roberts. The Golly Fest seemed to do really well. From what I saw, you stayed right on top of everything. So that's, you went kind of above and beyond on that. That was very much appreciated. And also the Fall Festival. I thought you guys did a tremendous job of, it's kind of like the fair. You jumped in there and revamped it just like the fair. And it was really good. And I've heard nothing but positive. So just a little pat on the back to you and your crews for that.
And I want to echo Commissioner Chapman's comments, especially on the Fall Festival. Many of our events are going through changes throughout the county. And Gary, you and the board there, especially you, did a good job keeping that event alive and definitely grew this year. So I want to announce that too. Now, I did not do it in haste, but I have my date in front of me now. So now I'm ready. You all can give me just a moment. The Nicholas County Community Foundation, we partnered with them to support their first meeting of the Nicholas County Nonprofit Organizations Group, and for the grant writer that we helped fund. That meeting is to be held Thursday, November 2nd, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Arena and Conference Center. The first 50 people that sign up to attend will attend for free with breakfast and lunch included. And you must pre-register by Friday, October 20th with the Community Foundation. And you can get a hold of Tamara at 304-549-7926. The days of ARP are quickly dwindling, and so this commission is not going to have as much leeway as we have truly enjoyed over the last 3 or 4 years now of supporting really non-county government things. As we have a base operation that we need to look at here too. And so when, you know, these sports groups and nonprofits come to the commission, they also definitely need to be in attendance for this organization's first meeting to truly understand the opportunities they have. You know, the city has an excellent grant writer, we have an excellent grant writer, we have plenty of ways to go after this funding versus the commission just simply stroking a check. And so I look forward to seeing that hopefully packed, the entire county being involved and supporting that meeting.
I was trying to find a number on that. They gave a cost I mean, it's free to the first 50, but it's like $800 a person. Does that sound right?
Yes, it's fairly costly.
Huh? Yeah.
That sounds right.
So that's an $800 savings for 50 people,
Yeah.
which I think is, like you say, it's amazing.
Yeah, so no, that's a really good thing.
Absolutely.
All the credit goes to the community foundation. They came up with it. I think it's a good thing that we supported it. And I truly just hope to see everybody that's in and out of this office there. I intend to go, as long as it doesn't hurt. If they run out of 50, I mean,
Right.
but after that, I intend to go, like for Lindsay to go, the park manager, maybe even the homeland director. And then, that's true. But otherwise, that's all I have.
Favorite motion? Motion to adjourn.
So heard, so moved. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry and we do stand adjourned.